Hello, a warm welcome to Vienna.
The Belvedere Museum in Vienna, one of the oldest museums in the world, is always looking for ways to enrich the experience of its visitors. But capturing the attention of our youngest visitors is not easy. How do we combine the museum's history and educational goals into a cool experience for kids? With the Fantastic Palastics, a web-based augmented reality game that dives into the museum's history, players are encouraged to find the lost animals of Prince Eugene, the first owner of the palace, in the palace gardens.
Welcome to the Belvedere Palace's gardens, home to a magical new adventure. I am the Sphinx, and I will be your guide. With the Fantastic Palastics, you explore the gardens, learn about art and culture, and have fun along the way. To start the game, all you have to do is scan my sculpture. I will then explain the rules and the storyline. Your mission is to find the Fantastic Palastics, 6 exotic animals that were once owned by Prince Eugene of Savoy. They are hiding in the garden, and you need to find them using the clues I give you. Once you find an animal, you must feed it the right food to collect it. Pay close attention to your surroundings to find the animals. Look for sculptures and other landmarks that might give you clues. When you have found all the animals, you can take a picture off your favorite one and share it with your friends and family. Congratulations! You have collected all the Fantastic Palastics and completed your mission. Come back and visit us at the Belvedere Palace's gardens soon.
Well, at first a short overview on the Belvedere Museum and what we did on digitalization so far, and then a short focus on the Fantastic Palastics. So, Belvedere Museum is one of the oldest museums in the world. This year we celebrated our 300th anniversary. You saw also in the video this fantastic palace, Baroque palace, historical heritage in Vienna, and as it was mentioned, you have to come and to visit the museum. We show the largest collection of Gustav Klimt, including the kiss, this iconic of love, and so come for a kiss to the Belvedere Museum. Digital transformation for a good old institution like the Belvedere, what does it mean? When I started at the Belvedere 7 years ago, it was a privilege to have a company cell phone. Today, every employee receives his company or her company cell phone on the very first day of work, and they communicate from the very first day on MS Teams within the company. Via my cell phone, I can check that at the moment 298 visitors are in the museum, and when we reach the capacity, and from any point on Earth, I can release the salary for the employees for the transfer, so they will be happy to have the money on their account. Digitalization influences all the workflows within the museum, but especially also our shows and our educational programs. Especially during the pandemic, on the very first day of the pandemic, we started video tours, live tours on Facebook, and had a lot of work within the pandemic. So also on the ticket issue, at the moment we sell 30% of our tickets online, and our goal is to go up to 80 and 90% within a short time. Some examples, what we did so far, we did digital visitors engagement. We switched our audio guide tours to app tours with Smartify. And it's very interesting to see that these apps didn't replace the good old audio guide, but it's an add-on, and we sell more guided tours through the Smartify app. Or we have within the exhibition additional information with Artivive app, where you can see X-ray pictures behind the pictures, and some secrets of the pictures we can show. One of the most spectacular projects was and is the KISS NFT we dropped on Valentine's Day 2 years ago. It's the most successful NFT initiative of a museum worldwide. We divided the KISS in 10,000 tiles, sold them as an NFT, also for a declaration of love on Valentine's Day. We sold so far 2,600 tiles. That means 4.4 million euros on revenues so far, and it will go on. I can inform or tell the secret that the lips are not minted so far. So maybe if you could be, you can be lucky if you connect your wallet now and mint one of our NFTs. So that there was a short overview what we did in this big area of digital innovation at the museum. The AR game Fantastic Palastics has the point that Prince Eugene, who founded the Belvedere, had a zoo at that time. It was very innovative. He was a very rich man. It was the very first zoo in Austria, before the zoo in Schönbrunn now. And for that game, we chose animals who had lived at that zoo to bring children to the Belvedere Museum. The first goal is to bring children to the historic gardens. The project team was that we cooperated with Brandfather and Orb Amsterdam and with 8th Wall. So we used the same platform like Pokemon Go. You have to see that the game in the park is just the first step in a big overall concept. Our animals are designed to be art investigators for our young visitors. When the ostrich, for example, is called Dada, for example, it already refers to an art movement. And in the next step, we'll bring the animals into the museum, where they will continue to accompany the children. And of course, these characters are also suitable for offline products, For example, for children's books to color, or of course for merchandising products such as rag dolls. So you see, it's a big vision we have when we started to make the step in that kind of gamification, because we are convinced that that to play is the best way to learn, and so we connect playing with our educational task of the museum. So the short introduction why we did it, and in the next introduction you will hear about how we did it. Many thanks. And come to the Belvedere Museum.
Welcome, everyone. Let's see, how does this one? This one? Yeah. My name is Doruk Eker. I'm from Orb, Amsterdam. We are a studio that we are creating interactive and immersive experiences in multiple technologies using multiple platforms. And we had the privilege to work together with the Belvedere Museum and the production agency, The Brandfather, on this project. And for this part of the presentation, I'm going to give you a bit more insights, a bit more behind-the-scenes information about how we actually made this and what kind of technology we used. So once the idea that was presented was in front of us, we had a couple of technical challenges. So we didn't want the visitors to download any application, because some of the visitors are going to have their data bundles. They are living in Vienna or from EU, but most are international, so they won't have the data bundles to download a big application, but they can go to a website. So we, from the get-go, it was a web-based experience. It needs to support a wide range of devices, both Android, iOS kind of platform, but it also has to support older devices, because the target audience are younger adults and children. So they probably will have the older phones of their parents. That's why we need to have the device age support. And the other thing is, it is very important that the experience needs to be location-based, which means that it can be played in the gardens of the museum, but it is not designed to be played somewhere else. So with these restrictions, we were already working with 8-volt platform in different projects, and they had just released the visual positioning system for web, which was available with Niantic products as in an app platform, but it was just produced for released for web. So we decided to go for that one. Just a bit of an, if you haven't seen that, just a bit of an insight about that. This is the how we say that, the admin section for your 8-volt project, and they introduced something called a geospatial map, where you can actually see these landmark points, which they call the wayspots, and you can all actually get the three-dimensional mesh of that, and afterwards you add this to your project, and then you can, I'm going to just skip a couple of slides here, and then you can use these meshes, and you can create your AR world, your AR game in this case, around these meshes. For instance, in the, okay, I go one more. In the second one, for instance, the Sphinx was our mesh, and we created the digital Sphinx that flies near the real-life Sphinx and continues the game there. So what we did, of course, there was another challenge, is that not everything that you would like to include in your game is available, right? Is available in the geospatial map. So that's why, especially for Europe and for Vienna, that's a very, very small number of wayspots that are available. So because we wanted to have specific landmarks, specific statues that are coming from the palace's gardens, we had to manually scan them and add it to their system. And this is how it looks. Luckily, 8Vol is providing an app for this, and using that app, you can go and scan the location and the statue, just like the example here. And that will appear in the geospatial map. Later on, you can take this one and then place it in the in your experience. So what we did in the end, we had 8 waste spots, and 2 of them, the ones I'm going to point here. These 2, these are the start of the game. And the other ones are the ones that you are going to navigate, or the players are going to navigate to find the other animals. And we were able to finalize this first step with this 8 waste spots. And in the end, you have the map that you basically navigate the garden with that. And once you find the animals, you play the game. And hopefully you collect them all so you can make the you can get to the final stage and share the photo moment with your friends. Maybe I'll leave this to you as well? Or, okay. Yeah. There is a 50% discount code for the museum admissions. And yeah, please go to the URL and visit the museum. Thank you very much. And maybe if you have any questions, we can get the questions.
So I just shout out. Thank you very much. That was really interesting and really cool. And do you have any results, any metrics on the experience?
Results so far. We are working on the next step to make it a little bit easier and more fluently. So, for example, we realized that in the version now, you only can make a picture with the animal at the end of the game. But you have to play it through, and maybe it takes 20 minutes. In the next step, there will be the possibility to make a picture at every station, because for us, it's necessary that they make the picture, that they share it, at the moment we lose all the children which do not finish.
What's the target group of the game exactly?
You're too quick.
Okay.
What's the target group of the game exactly, and how does that help you drive revenue for the museum, get new visitors?
The Fantastic Palastics is not revenue driven, because it's a part of our educational program and to interest children. Children are for free at the museum up to 18. So we never have the revenue task for that group, but it's our task. We are a public institution, and when they are grown up, they will come as visitors.
Can we keep the last slide on? Because there was the information with the discount code and everything.
Yes, sorry. We've tried to play with this VPS, the light ship thing from 8.4. Do you have any experience, I mean, bad or good, with the 3D object scanning? Because in AR, it's always a nightmare. And is it really working? So you just, hold your phone on the statue and it's actually recognizing from any direction the statue itself.
Come and try.
Yeah, thanks, I will. But for the time being, from a development point of view, can you just answer me?
Yeah. I was telling this exactly the same words yesterday to someone else. With new technologies, as developers, we kind of expect it not to work at first, right? And in our third or fourth visit to the gardens, what we realized together with my business partner is like, we realized we are not talking about the tech at all. We are talking about only the concept or what we create, and the tech was working really seamless. So we are very, very happy using this technology. Yeah.
Can you hear me? All right. I have actually a technical question as well regarding the, I'm here, the geo-positioning. How accurate is this since you're using a third-party application? And last question is about the NFT. Any next step after the launch?
Shortly. So this is not using the GPS, so it's not geopositioning. It is using VPS, which is using it's a combination of the GPS and the data that is seen from the camera and mapping it to a previously 3D scanned object. So that's why the precision is like a couple of centimeters. It's not like GPS. Yeah.
And on the NFTs? There was a second question on the NFTs?
Yeah, NFTs, yes. Yeah, we are preparing the second wave for our KISS NFT because in the moment we are a little bit sticking in the crypto winter. But today when I watched my phone, I saw that the cryptocurrencies are growing up again. So we have to be prepared. What are the next steps also on technological side? We realized at the drop that it is still very complicated for people to mint an NFT, especially when they were never in touch with a MetaMask or any wallet. So the next step is that it will be very, very easy to create a wallet within the purchase process. I think we will be ready with that at Christmas. And we prepare the next launch for the next Valentine's Day because we always want to connect this NFT with the idea of the Valentine's Day because it's a declaration of love.
Thanks. How do you collaborate with the educational institutions? Like, how do you push this into the day-to-day educational visits? And like, do you have any further plans about this?
Well, our educational department is in contact, especially with schools, to bring them into the museum. We have educational programs for them. And so we put it in our marketing activities in that direction.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. If I understood correctly, this was a web-based XR experience on site. I'm curious, I'm personally a social AR creator, so I'm a bit biased in asking this, but have you considered pairing this with standalone, independent, smaller social AR effects on TikTok or Snapchat, maybe even to draw an adult audience and market much closer to where people are posting about it?
Well, the world of development is endless, but this is a very first step. And it was a strategy to have a program to bring the people to the museum. We have also programs you can use only on web-based, but on that specific interest was to bring the people in the park.
We have time for one more question, perhaps. Anybody?
Hi, good morning. I would like to know if you have shared this experience with other museums of the world. How are you with your other colleague museums worldwide?
We are in contact, and there are also congresses and meetings of museums worldwide. But what we can see that, especially with the NFT, but also with this kind of game, we are the first movers within the museums worldwide.
So that was a fantastic session. What we've seen today is a great display of collaboration between something that doesn't happen too often at such levels of excellence. We've seen one of the best museums in the world with the longest history talking to a top technology company doing a project that gets the best out of the possibilities ahead. Many thanks, guys, for your insightful contribution to the talks, and I hope you enjoyed session 1. More to come.